I'm tired. Welcome back to Ever Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Ever Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to talk about The Three Musketeers. The Three Musketeers is a 1993 theatrical release. It is directed by Stephen Herrick, cinematography by Dean Semler, editing by John F. Link, music by Michael Kamen, and it's written by David Loughery. Stephen Herrick I covered in the video about the Mighty Ducks. The link will be in the description. Dean Semler is best known for Apocalypto, Dances with Wolves, Dead Calm, and Mad Max The Road Warrior. John F. Link I covered in the video about Tiger Town. The link will be in the description. Michael Kamen is best known for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Don Juan DeMarco, X-Men, and Lethal Weapon. David Loughery is best known for The Intruder, Lakeview Terrace, Obsessed, and Passenger 57. The Three Musketeers is based off a book of the same name by Alexandre Dumas, written in 1844. Shall we compare? D'Artagnan leaves Gascony to join the Musketeers of the Guard. On the way, D'Artagnan is beaten unconscious by a group of older men who steal his letter of introduction to the Musketeers. The leader of those men turns out to be Comte de Roquefort, an agent of Cardinal Richelieu. D'Artagnan isn't accepted at the Musketeers without his letter of introduction, so Monsieur de Treville sends him to an academy for young gentlemen. Out the window, D'Artagnan sees Roquefort and runs out to duel him. Doing this, he offends the Three Musketeers and must duel them that afternoon. Athos, Porthos, and Aramis are shocked to learn that D'Artagnan intends to fight them all. Just then, Cardinal Richelieu arrives with men to stop the illegal duel. The four men fight back and win. D'Artagnan seriously injures Jessic, a renowned fighter, so King Louis VIII has him appointed to de Essert's company with 40 pistols. He gets a house, a servant, and reports to the guard he must serve for 2 years before joining the Musketeers. D'Artagnan falls in love with his landlord's wife, Constance. Constance works for the Queen, who is having an affair with the Duke of Buckingham. The Queen gives a gifted necklace from her husband to her lover. Cardinal Richelieu wants war between France and England and plans to expose the affair. The Cardinal has the King demand the Queen to wear the necklace to a soiree. Constance begs her husband to go get the necklace, but he refuses for he's in the Cardinal's pocket. D'Artagnan agrees to do it. Of course he does. They are attacked many times and D'Artagnan and his servant Planchet are the only ones left when they reach London. He almost kills Comte de Wardes but stops. The Duke gives the necklace to D'Artagnan. He gets the necklace back in time to save the Queen's honor and she gives him a ring in gratitude. D'Artagnan begins an affair with Constance. Of course he does. He sees Roquefort and Constance's husband assault and imprison Constance. He meets Milady de Winter officially and they have an altercation where he sees she's branded a felon and she attempts to kill him. D'Artagnan is ordered to the siege of La Rochelle. The Queen saves Constance from prison. Milady and Cardinal Richelieu want to murder the Duke. The Musketeers and D'Artagnan hold Saint Gervais against the rebels, killing 22 people, and D'Artagnan is then made a musketeer. They tell Lord de Winter and the Duke of Milady's true past and her plans with the Cardinal to kill the Duke. Milady is taken to prison, but she seduces the guard and heads to kill the Duke. Milady kills Constance, and the Musketeers arrest her, and she is executed. The Cardinal arrests D'Artagnan, who presents Milady de Winter's letter of pardon as his own. The Cardinal is glad to be rid of Milady de Winter and gives D'Artagnan a promotion slip with a blank name. D'Artagnan offers the promotion to all three of his friends who refuse for different reasons, so D'Artagnan is made a lieutenant in the Musketeers. The end. It has the bones of the story there for sure, but I'd say the movie's less complicated. Like they change because the book has affairs and the Cardinal's actually kind of good, and I don't know. In the movie, the Cardinal wants to be king, so the Cardinal is like the bad guy, and Roquefort's like an agent of him, and then the Queen isn't having an affair. She actually really loves the king, and Milady de Winter is actually Athos's ex-wife. They're different. The film stars Chris O'Donnell, Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, Oliver Platt, Tim Curry, and Michael Wincott. Chris O'Donnell plays D'Artagnan and is best known for Batman and Robin, Scent of a Woman, Vertical Limit, and this. Charlie Sheen plays Aramis and is best known for 2.5 Men, Wall Street, Platoon, and this. Kiefer Sutherland plays Athos and is best known for 24, Mirrors, Phone Booth, and Young Guns. Oliver Platt plays Porthos and is best known for 2012, Bicentennial Man, Lake Placid, and this. Tim Curry plays Cardinal Richelieu, and I covered him in the video about Darkly Dawns the Duck. The link will be in the description. Michael Wincott plays Roquefort and is best known for What Just Happened, Talk Radio, and Dead Man. All the actors went through extensive fencing and riding lessons. The film was shot mostly in Austria and the UK. It has a 23% on Rotten Tomatoes. It took $30 million to make and it only made $53.9 million, which is not great. It did not do well. However, the song at the end credits, it's a very famous song. I had no idea this song was from this movie. It was written, I'm pretty sure, for the credits of this film, which is insane. It's All for Love and All for One, or whatever. It's a Bryan Adams song. All for one and all for love, or whatever, That went #1. That was the most successful part of the film. It's a very famous song. I've never heard of this version of The Three Musketeers. I actually was very shocked to find out Charlie Sheen was in a movie about The Three Musketeers, because I had never heard of it. And then I brought it up, and my brother said he loved this movie. He owns it. He grew up with it. And then my cousin Erin also said she loved this movie. So I was just genuinely surprised because I had never heard of it. And then, like, it did really bad on Rotten Tomatoes, which makes a lot of sense why. Or it did really bad in the box office and then with critics. So it makes sense why I've never heard of it. But also, if my brother and my cousin both really like it, it's kind of interesting that I've never heard of it. Well, I mean, I've heard of the Three Musketeers, but not this version with, like, freaking Chris O'Donnell and Charlie Sheen and Oliver Platt and Kiefer Sutherland and Tim Curry. Like, it's a lot of star power. It's it's fine. I will say, like, every shot of Tim Curry is pretty much from a low angle. They really pushed that whole low angle equals villain motif. Like, they were like, I think if there was a shot that was eye level or higher, it was because he was in a shot with someone else who wasn't evil. Swear to you, because almost every shot was like here or just here or here. Like, so he was always being looked up at like a villain. It's classic to use a low angle shot to establish a villain, and that was very heavily used for Cardinal Richelieu. And Tim Curry did an excellent job. A lot of his audio was ADR, which I was very confused about because either he sucked at the ADR, which I doubt because he's done a lot of voiceover in his life, or no one else really was doing ADR, or they just were terrible at placing Tim Curry's ADR. I don't know, because his ADR wasn't it. The movie, it had fun parts. It had parts that were cringetown.com. Like, it was definitely a victim of its time. Like, John Turteltaub really went for, like, the 90s sexy treating boob shots of women moment. Like, every woman in the film except Constance, so like the Queen and Milady de Winter, had boob shots that were like, why is this necessary? Especially Milady de Winter. She had quite a few that were like, I felt so bad for the actress who played Milady de Winter, because just like, there were so many shots that were just her boobs, and like so many, like three. There were like three that really accented her boobs. And one of them, it was like Cardinal Richelieu was going to grab them and was being gross. But the other one was so annoying. And I'm like, oh, it's so cringe. Like, I can't. And that really aggravated me, just because it's just like, what are you doing? Like, we don't care. Like, just tell the story. I don't need to see a close-up shot of her boobs next to Chris O'Donnell's head, okay? Surprisingly enough, one of my favorite scenes in this film was the carriage chase. Bet you never hear me say that. But Porthos made that entire scene hysterical, like bringing out all the wine and the like champagne and the brandy and the food. Like, that made it so funny and enjoyable, and then it was like quick and over. That scene was very fun. The wenching scene was so cringe. Hated that. It just made me really uncomfortable. It was stupid. There were a couple twists in the movie I genuinely did not see coming, because I like had read the story of the original Musketeers, so like I didn't expect that the changes they made, like Milady de Winter being Athos's ex. I was like, what? I didn't see that coming at all. It was an interesting twist. I wasn't like, yes, I'm super for it, but I was like, alright, like, whatever. And then, Aramis getting shot in the chest, I was like, yo, does he die? Like, I straight up was like, oh my god, Charlie Sheen out of here. And then, the cross saved him, which was, you know, classic moment in a movie. Like, you know, when it's like the one thing, like a coin saved them, or the brass things that, you know, whatever it is, saved them. I didn't see it coming. Even though they did heavily show him using that cross, I didn't, like, they didn't establish it in the same way as, like, other movies who use that trope do, to where, like, I could guess that that's what happened. So, that was fun. Constance saves the day, which I loved. I love that Constance was like, D'Artagnan's alive, pretty much because I threw him a sword. That's 100% how that worked out. That was pretty cool. Chris O'Donnell did a great job. Right at first when he showed up, I was like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to like separate him from Robin, because I have only ever seen Chris O'Donnell as Robin, and I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else. So, but then by the end of the movie, I was really enjoying him as D'Artagnan. I thought he did a good job. And I feel like a lot of this movie is like, this was good, but because the cinematography was really good, except they had a lot of focusing issues. Like, there were a lot of shots that were just out of focus. And that's measure, fam. Like, what are you doing? And then the editing was really good, except for some, like, really weird transition decisions. Like, they didn't establish, like, a fun editing style until, like, all of a sudden there was a wipe, and then there was, like, a corner thing, and, like, it was like, what are you... This is like a serious adventure film. I feel like that's not the time or place for this kind of transition. The acting was good, but I don't know. Like, Porthos was my favorite. Oliver Platt cracked me up. Just because he's Oliver Platt and he's hilarious. Overall, this movie is fine. I'm not crazy about it, but I wouldn't, like, if someone wanted to watch it, I would watch it with them. It was fun and entertaining enough. My final rating is 6 Musketeers out of 10. Our total movie count is... Our parent death toll is... Try count is still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put out videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join my Patreon because it's awesome. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, but I don't know if you are, so you do, and don't be Cardinal Richelieu about it. Wow, guys. Sorry if I seemed like I was in a bad mood there for a second in the video, but, like, ooh, I'm not in a good mood today, so... I hope you're in a good mood today. And I hope if you aren't, it gets better. Just like I hope it gets better for me today too. I'm gonna go try and make it better now.